Performing the procedure, introduce yourself and verify the client's identity using agency protocol. Explain to the client what you're going to do and why it's necessary and how he or she can participate. Discuss how the results will be used in planning further care of treatments. Perform hand hygiene, observe other appropriate infections procedure, provide for client privacy, inquire if the client has any history of the following: presence of pain in the head, back, or extremities, as well as onset aggravating and alleviating factors, disorientation to time, place, or person, speech or disorder, loss of consciousness, fainting, convulsions, trauma, tingling or numbness, tremors or tics, limping, paralysis, uncontrolled muscle movements, loss of memory, mood swings, or problems with smell, vision, taste, touch, or hearing. If the client displays difficulty speaking, point to common objects and ask the client to name them. Ask the client to read some words and to match the printed and written words with a picture. Ask the client to respond to simple verbal and written commands. Determine the client's orientation to time, place, and person by tactful questioning.
Bernice. Unsa mang date?
1722.
Unsa nga month?
Right. June.
Pila mo kabuk siblings, ma'am?
3.
Kisa man nilang mga pangalan, ma'am?
Si Rodel o si Mary Rose.
Ano ka naari ron, ma'am, sa clinic, ma'am?
Para mga i-advise sa doktor, sa nurse,
Ma'am?
sa clinic.
Listen for lapses in memory. Ask the client about difficulty with memory. If problems are apparent, 3 categories of memory are tested. For immediate recall, ask the client to repeat a series of 4 digits spoken slowly.
5743. Repeat.
5743.
Gradually increase the number of digits until the client fails to repeat the series correctly.
57439.
57439.
Naunang nakabuo. 5743910.
5743910.
Very good.
Start again with a series of 3 digits, but this time ask the client to repeat them backwards.
7412.
4712.
Oh, backwards. Yung backwards.
2174.
Plus una po na ako, ha? 4712.
Recent memory. Ask the client to recall the recent events of the day.
Yung pag-ari sa team.
Commute.
Ask the client to recall information given early in the interview.
Unsa to yung name na ko, ma'am?
John Lester Gloria.
Provide the client with 3 facts to recall later in the interview. Ask the client to recall the 3 items.
So, nakihatag mo, ma'am, nga 3 ka facts, ma'am. Color blue, pencil, address, palompon later.
Ask the client to describe a previous illness or surgery or a birthday or anniversary. Test the ability to concentrate or maintain attention span by asking the client to recite the alphabet or count backwards from 100.
E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, N, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Apply the Glasgow comma scale. I response, motor response, and verbal response. As an assessment, totaling 15 points indicates the client is alert and completely oriented. A comatose client scores 7 or less. Test reflexes using a percussion hammer, comparing one side of the body with the other to evaluate the symmetry of a response. Plantar reflex or Babinski reflex is superficial. In doing it, stroke the lateral border of the sole of the client's foot, starting at the heel, continuing to the ball of the foot, and then proceeding across the ball of the foot toward the big toe. And then observe for the responses. Normally all 5 toes bend downward, This reaction is negative Babinski. In a normal positive Babinski response, the toes spread outward and the big toe moves upward. Gross motor and balance test, walking gait. Ask the client to walk across the room and back and assess the client's gait. Romberg test. Ask the client to stand with feet together and arms resting at the sides, first with eyes open, then closed. Stand close during this test. Standing on one foot with eyes closed. Ask the client to close the eyes and stand on one foot. Repeat on the other foot, stand close to the client during this test. Heel to toe walking. Ask the client to walk straight a line, placing the heel of one foot directly in the foot of the toes of the other foot. Toe or heel walking. Ask the client to walk several steps on the toes and then on the heels. Fine motor test for the upper extremities, finger to nose test. Ask the client to abduct and extend the arms at shoulder height and then rapidly touch the nose alternately with one index finger and the other. The client repeats the test with eyes closed if the test is performed easily. Alternating supination and pronation of hands on knees. Ask the client to pat both knees with the palms of the hands and then with the back of the hands alternately at an even increasing rate. Finger to nose and to the nurse's finger. Ask the client to touch the nose and then your index finger held at a distance of 45 cm at a rapid and increasing rate. Fingers to fingers. Ask the client to spread the arms broadly at shoulder height and then bring the fingers together at the midline, first with eyes open and then close, first slowly and then rapidly. Fingers to thumb, same hand. Ask the client to touch each finger of one hand of the thumb of the same hand as rapidly as possible. Fine motor test for the lower extremities, heel down opposite shin. Ask the client to place the heel of one foot just below the opposite knee and run the heel down the shin to the foot. And then, repeat with the other foot. Toe or ball of the foot to the nurse's finger. Now for light touch sensation. Ask the client to close the eyes and to respond by saying yes or no whenever the client feels the cotton wisps touching the skin. With the wisps of cotton lightly touch one specific spot and then the same spot on the other side of the body. For pain sensation. Ask the client to close the eyes and to say sharp, dull, or don't know when the sharp or dull end of a safety pin is felt. Now for physician or kinesthetic sensation. To test the fingers, support the client's arm and hand with one hand. To test the toes, place the client's heel on the examining table. Ask the client to close the eyes. For the fingers, ask the client to what finger have been touched. Now for toes, ask the client to what toe have been touched. Finally, document the findings in the client record using printed or electronic forms or checklists, supplemented by narrative notes when appropriate.